Associates. This video summarizes your major project for the semester, your Industry Innovation White Paper. A white paper is used to inform or persuade audiences in the decision-making and problem-solving process. So you need to provide, the key information, background, a strong stance or position, as well as outcomes and action steps within your paper. You will be researching an issue or topic within your industry or your field to write your white paper on. Your final white paper is going to provide either your philosophy, a potential solution, your position, or a contribution you can make to this issue within your field or industry as you move forward as young professionals. Let's get started. Tasks. Your core task is to write a 10 to 12 page paper with 6 of the required sections that align with, traditional professional white paper report. The page count, the 10 to 12 pages, is about the body text. So while you will have a front matter and some back matter, we'll be looking at 10 to 12 pages of core vital information and text that you've written. You must support each of your sections with strong research techniques that provide a lot of credibility, especially in the sources and the data and presentation of the information. Use your effective writing skills that we have learned all semester to help inform and persuade your audience about your position or your innovation and contribution. And embed good graphics and other design elements to improve the overall quality and effectiveness of your document. Another key task in this, though, is that you will interview somebody within your professional field, your career choice, or your network. This interviewee will be approved during the proposal process, but yet you will need to go out and talk to someone who has some insight and has been working in the industry for a little while. Now I'm going to walk through those 6 key sections of the report so you know what you need to do in each and what to expect. The report begins with your front matter, which is going to include a cover letter. Go back to our resume project for a reminder on kind of how cover letters are set up. It's highly similar to this cover letter. A title page, so you'll need to come up with a nice, clear, informative, descriptive title. This is also where you will put your authorship information, and a table of contents. This is a long report, and so it's really helpful and important that your readers can look at your table of contents, your list of figures. Again, return to the instruction manual assignment on how to set those up, so that way they can jump anywhere within this 10 to 12 pages and find the exact information they're looking for. This front matter includes those key elements that are going to orient all your readers and your stakeholders to your document. Next, we move into the body of the report. This is where the 10 to 12 pages come into play. At first, you're going to provide an introduction that will probably be 1 to 2 pages and orient your reader to the topic and issue, kind of the rest of the report. You need to provide, just a little bit of a hook, some background, and a good roadmap to the rest of the report in this introduction. Think of this as that boarding process if we return to that train metaphor from the Made to Stick video. I get so excited to write about the new observations or theories and ideas that I have that I forget to really explain where I'm coming from to the reader sometimes. She describes it as leaving them on the platform at the train station. As the conductor, I have a tendency to go full steam ahead without making sure all of my passengers are on board first. So this semester, both you and I, are going to work on being the best train conductors. We're going to make sure that all of our passengers are on board, that they're with us, and they understand everything that we're saying before we head off down the tracks. Right? As authors, we're trying to be the best train conductors this semester, so this introduction helps get everybody off of the platform and onto the train before we start moving down the tracks. Because this is a research-based report, you will be providing, your methods in your methods section to increase your credibility. Now, your explanation of the methods will probably be maybe half to 1.5 pages, kind of depending on what you do. Of course, it's all fairly straightforward since we aren't necessarily setting up, experiments or some of the other types of research that has really lengthy procedures. However, so this method section is really more on establishing your credibility, showing the systematic, sort of rigorous way you went about researching the issue, the types of topics that you went into researching, where you found the information, how you analyzed and organized it all. So in that section, I want you to tell me the types of sources you looked into, the areas of research you explored, and the way you went about organizing, collecting, and analyzing your information. This short section adds credibility to your report in case the stakeholders are interested or wondering. I'm one of the stakeholders that's interested in wondering. Include the method section where you find it most appropriate for your document. The heart of this report is in that literature review, which is really where you're going to give the results, the information, all the things that you found during your research this semester. Okay, so this part of your report is going to be anywhere from 5 to 7 or 8 pages. In this section, you need to articulate the what, the why, and the who. So what is the issue? How is it impacting people and who is it impacting? This section is really important and key in helping your audience in making those decisions. This is where you're giving all of that, core vital information in the problem solving and deliberation process. People need to know, what are you talking about? How is it impacting and why is it important and who is it impacting? The last section of your report, maybe the final 1 to 3 pages, is where you're going to offer up that solution, position, or contribution to the issue you've been researching. So, once you know all about this issue and topic, in this section you're going to persuade the reader to come along to your position, to support your solution, or to feel engaged with the contribution that you can make. You will need to incorporate the feasibility of any solutions or contributions that you're proposing through this section, or you will need to persuade me why the issue is not an issue at all. Because that is certainly a position that could be taken. After all this research, you might be able to make the case in the argument that actually there's a lot of controversy here, but it's unwarranted. Here's a way we can shift. Then make sure to wrap up your whole paper with a nice short conclusion that reviews all the key points and things you want the reader to walk away with, ends the report with a nice little bow. The conclusion is always very important, almost as important as your overview and very first section in the introduction. Because as readers, right, we get a little fatigued. Sometimes we tend to skim in the middle of really long documents, but if you can capture them in that first paragraph and overview the key things they should be thinking about, and then review and bring them back around at the very end of the paper, usually, hopefully, ideally, the core elements are going to stick in their brain. Now the final and 6th section of the report will be the back matter, and this is where you're going to include your references, any notes or other appendices, as well as a glossary with some key terms and jargon. You are expected to adhere to the strong writing, document design, and editing principles that we've had learned all semester. This is, of course, a really long, dense, and highly technical report, so strong organization and document design is crucial and a huge part of the expectations for this assignment. Your job is to walk the reader through all this information and data smoothly, logically, and in a way that they can truly comprehend, and then move forward with some sort of action, whether it would be supporting your, innovation or coming around to your position inside. At the end of it all, your job is really to distill, understand, and explain a highly complex and nuanced issue on a topic related to your field. I need you to show me your grasp of the history, the impacts, and the relevant information related to the issue through your systematic, rigorous, credible research process. In short, this paper, I expect you to tell me what's going on in your industry or future career and either what you're going to do about it or how you feel about it. So the minimum required elements that you need to incorporate into your report, you are a cover letter summarizing the report, a table of contents to aid in organization, one graph or chart containing key information. This is not going to count as any cover art on your title page. This needs to be an informative, sort of data-rich illustration, graph, chart, or some other visual inside the body that complements the text and helps the reader understand. So make sure to get at least one of those in. One interview with a professional in your field. A reference list with 8 credible sources, so at least 8, and a glossary of key terms. So decide what kind of jargon, maybe acronyms, and other, key terms your reader might want or need to have clarified in a glossary. This assignment serves as practice in drafting a lengthy, more technical type of report with the purpose of informing and persuading an audience. Through this practice, you should have a much clearer understanding of your field and, a really big key kind of issue or topic within your field, as well as your own positionality regarding that issue or topic and your trajectory. Basically, you will know a lot more about sort of what future you is in for and what might affect your career down the road when you're getting into it. Also, you will be, networking and speaking with somebody in your field. Hopefully this can develop into maybe a letter of recommendation when it's time for you to apply to various things. Maybe it'll help you get the foot in the door. And it's just always good to have some of those connections before you're even out in the workforce. As far as grading, this assignment is obviously very high stakes. Right, it's a thing we've been building to all semester long. You have a lot of new things in your toolkit after completing this course. And so, I do expect a lot, and I expect high quality work in your writing, your document design, the choices that you make in how to display and present the information, and your editing. You need to dedicate time, right, to make this a polished, professional grade type of report that someone in your industry, some stakeholders could find interesting, helpful, or valuable. Really treat this like a work assignment. Specifically, I will be looking for how well and if you fully explained, what is the topic, what is kind of the history that's led to this moment and why it's like an issue now, why it's just coming to the forefront now, how long maybe has it been an issue under the current, just what are all the nuances in the history and stakeholders that have contributed to this position today. I want to know, and I want you to, write in a way that persuades me as to why this is an issue, why this is worth talking about, why this is something that needs, a solution, a contribution, or, why it's something everyone should take the time to think about and develop their own position on. And lastly, I am looking for, did you explain who and what is really impacted, as well as a strong potential solution that is feasible. If you take more of the position route, then I will be looking for, did you ground your position in the facts and the data, and did you make a strong argument for why this is the position that you took, why this is an issue, why this isn't an issue. Refer to the grading overview video, for more background, of course. It will follow that strategy. Make sure you get those minimum required elements in. And as always, from the Made to Stick, tools for successful sticky messages, you need to always be simple, credible, concrete, and any of the other elements of the checklist you can get in. If you have any questions, of course, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in class. Bye, associates.